Today, I give my early review of The Outer Worlds 2. Is Obsidian's third game of the year a success, or was it a failed launch? Let's find out on the Late Night Gamer podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 73 of the Late Night Gamer podcast, your place for late night laughs, hot takes, and video game reviews. I'm your host, Welchy, and joining me tonight are Mr. Pop Figures himself, Andy.
Hey guys, pleasure to be back. I don't know why, but every time I jump on there, I feel like it's been ages since we've done our last one. But I guess we did skip Sunday because of
We
recording
did
one extra one
skip
last
one,
week. But
yeah.
yeah,
So it feels a little bit longer. And also joining us is our resident horror expert, Stephen.
Yes, hello everybody. Nice to be back. It feels even longer for me, and then I was thinking about that and then going, "Oh yeah, I wasn't around last week, so that's why." But yeah, looking forward to hearing your thoughts about this, and love the pun. Very, very solid.
I thought it was a good one. And yes, you missed the
Yeah,
gaming podcast last week. So in terms of this podcast, it's been 2 weeks for you.
yeah.
But yeah, I'll be talking about Outer Worlds 2 today. But before we get into that, a quick bit of housekeeping. Of course, this is the Late Night Gamer podcast. We drop 2 episodes a week, typically on a Wednesday and a Friday. If you enjoy the podcast, please do consider following or subscribing on your favorite podcast service, and also leave a rating, as that really helps support the podcast. You can follow us on all major socials with the handle at the Late Night Pods, and you can join our Discord using the link in the podcast description if you want to chat movies, TV shows, and video games. If you're listening or watching on Spotify, you can now leave comments on there too. And of course, our podcast is available on YouTube if that is your platform of choice. Be sure to also check out the Late Night Pods on Twitch. Speaking of Twitch, our content schedule for the week beginning 3rd of November looks like this. Tuesday, you had our Turner and Hooch review on the Late Night Movie podcast, which is part of our A to Z series. Wednesday, you'll get in this episode our Outer Worlds 2 early review. Thursday, there is no movie podcast. There's only one movie podcast this week, just due to scheduling issues. And then Friday, we'll be looking at our Metacritic predictions results for 2025. So definitely stick around for that one. In terms of Twitch streams, I should be streaming Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this week. And it should be, as you'll find out soon, more Outer Worlds 2. Okay, let's move in to Outer Worlds 2 review. This game released 29th of October, and as of recording, this is the 3rd of November. As mentioned in the cold open, this is their third release by Obsidian this year, which is mental to me. They had Avowed back in February, I want to say.
yeah,
February, March time.
quite early.
And then, although it's not, I don't think it's been fully released, they have kind of done the early preview release of Grounded 2, which is the Honey I Shrunk the
Okay,
Kids
yeah,
game,
yeah, that was pretty good to be fair.
which is out and you can play it, but I don't think it's like a beta version, whatever. And now Outer Worlds 2, which 3 games in a year is impressive, no matter who you are, what studio you are. It's very impressive and not really heard of these days. The only developer I can think that can kind of get close to that is Insomniac, like major developer anyway.
Yeah.
And even them, they're not 3 per year. It's more like they had a role of being yearly as such.
Yeah, yeah, difficult.
Open Critic 83.
That's respectable.
It's good, and Metacritic is the same currently. That's taken from their Xbox score. That's got the most reviews. So, what? First of all, what do you two know about the Outer Worlds? I guess you can call it a franchise now, being a second game. Like, do you know much about it, Andy?
Not a lot to be honest with you. Only sort of what we'd obviously we had that episode in that TV show that we watched. I always forget
Secret
what
level.
that's called. Secret Level. Yeah.
Mm.
So from there, that sort of got my interests up a bit, just because I really liked that episode on there.
Yeah.
And then I was sort of thinking about the idea of picking it up. But yeah, potentially based on maybe on what you say, I might get it. But then again, it's like, is it one of those games that I want to buy at full price or wait for it? Because I feel like it's a game that will quickly go down and go on sale at some point, especially over the Christmas. And then you've got the January sales, so it's pretty better to wait for it to go down in price. But yeah, excited to see what you say. about it, and then I'll make my decision.
And Steven, is it similar for you?
I mean, what episode in Secret Level is it again?
It's the
It's been a while
one
since we watched
where
that.
the guy keeps going through these experiments and he's like losing limbs and he's
It's
getting them
quite a fun
replaced.
episode.
Oh, yeah, and I really did like that episode. So outside of that though, not much, no. And again, it'd be one depending on what you say will be one that I may look into, but I'm not familiar with it. But I do recall enjoying that episode, and I quite like the concept that it had. So I'm hoping that the game is pretty much similar to that, or running that, or if there's going to be massive differences.
It'll be hard for the game to be similar to that, based on
elements of it, maybe.
There might be elements, but yeah, I'll be interested to see how they can put that episode into a game if it is.
The episode isn't, in terms of you don't play as someone who's just being experimented on. But the world is the same in terms of this massive corporation has taken over and is obviously not a very good corporation. It's kind of real lifey, maybe like Amazon or someone. If you didn't know, or if any listeners didn't know, that this game is similar in play style and the whole way through of Fallout or Starfield or Skyrim, and like those kind of games where a lot of dialogue, a lot of walking up to NPCs, getting side missions from them, talking to them.
Atomfall vibes.
Yes. The difference with Atomfall, which I praise Atomfall for, is it's very much figure everything out on your own. Like the way, especially on my difficulty, it was like, we're not telling you anything, go and figure it out. And this is a bit more, go to this mission, go and do this thing. It
has more structure in terms of telling you what you need to do.
Yeah, and there is still things like there's options,
right?
But Atomfall was just very much a mystery, whereas this is a bit more pushing you in a direction, I guess.
It definitely doesn't look like Atomfall either. Like when I was looking at the pictures, I was sort of getting Borderlands vibes from it in terms of like the visuals.
I can see that because there's creatures. There's like colorful creatures. This is obviously Outer Worlds, as you can imagine. This is a sci-fi adventure. This isn't fantasy like Avowed is. And I'd say Atomfall is kind of post-apocalyptic. And this is sci-fi. So you've got their differences there.
And even on the difficulty I played, it was a lot that it kind of just said, here's a snippet, but put your thinking cap on and find out what you've got to do. A lot of the things I did in Atomfall was a bit like, I didn't quite intend to do it, and then it opened up at the store. I was like, oh, okay. Yes. But this sounds like it's got much more of, it tells you to go from A to B, and then
it does. I don't want to say it wrong. It is not a linear experience. So essentially you start off the game and you are someone from I think they're called the Earth. I've wrote it down. The Earth Dictatorate. That's what I'm going to call it. The Earth Dictatorate, something like that. You're basically, let's call them the law part of the universe. So you are the law.
Okay.
You've got the massive corporation, which is two corporations joined as one. I can't remember what the old corporations were called. I think in Outer Worlds 1 there were two separate corporations, and now they're combined, and it's now called Auntie's Choice. I think I'm getting that right. And I've got a feeling that it's the Auntie's company that was used in the show. But Auntie's Choice is this massive corporation. Then you've got this, what they're calling the Protectorate, which are more based on faith and religion. As far as I can tell, I should say I'm 6 hours 45 minutes in terms of my Xbox time, but my save file says 5 hours 45 minutes. Difference in that hour will be, I believe, character creation, which took me probably a good 20 minutes, and I'll get into why. And then dying. So obviously when you die, you go back to a save file. You don't have to, you can press continue, but most of the time I'll go back to a save file. And if it's been 10 minutes of gameplay, I've lost 10 minutes, if that makes sense. So
yeah, sure.
I'd say give or take, I've experienced almost 7 hours of the game. We've got the Proctorates who are kind of more religion based, and they're kind of not against the Auntie's Choice people, but the Auntie's Choice people are trying to take over and bring them in, like kind of convince them to join them. That's the vibe I'm getting so far, and that's what's happening. Well, I don't know where I was going with that, but basically explaining like kind of what this game is. So yeah, it's like Fallout. It's less like Atomfall. Atomfall, I don't remember anyway, was just kind of just go out and do it. Whereas this is like you pick your So in the character creation, you pick what you want to be, and it will kind of change the dialogue options that you get in the game.
Yeah.
So you can be someone who's come out of prison and you're going straight sent in to work with the law. Don't know how that would work, but one of the options was, I don't know, he was like a thief or something. I've chosen professor, which I think from memory was meant to make me smarter and stuff. And there was one where it was like the funniest option at the bottom was like you don't know how you got there. You just are hitting this tutorial thing. And you don't know who you are. Like it's not like an insomnia thing, but it's like
Just a
you're
dude.
just there. Like there is no special thing about you. You're just the fit person.
You're just
I
nothing.
almost went for that one, but I didn't. And then after that, you pick another kind of skill or attribute, which kind of determines which of. So moving ahead, you've got your typical skill tree here. So you've got like sneak, which is obviously your stealthy stuff, guns, which improves your gun ability. You've got melee, you've got hacking, you've got lockpicking, engineering, blah, 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 like loads of different stats. But the kind of personality you pick just before that will determine which of those is prioritized. So essentially, you
Makes
get
sense.
plus
Yep.
2 straight away for that. Yeah, for that category. I picked the one which so most of them would only give you 2 skills which have plus 2. I picked the one which let me have 3 because I thought that would help. Bit of an
Was that
advantage.
stealth?
No, what did I pick? No, I picked hacking, lockpick, and engineering.
Does it force you to do stealth?
We'll get into that, but
Okay.
it does not force you. No, it doesn't.
Okay, that's good.
That's what I went with, and you then chucked in. You're in this mission. You go to this space base. I want to call it like a space station kind of thing, and this mission goes wrong. And I quickly kind of gathered that we was being betrayed. That is what happened, and then something goes wrong, and then your character is floating out in space in a capsule for 10 years, and then you're found, and then you're basically 10 years from that point. And that's where the game really starts. So that first bit is about
Okay,
an hour
that's
or
pretty
two,
cool.
by the way. So it's not like it's a cutscene or anything. You are playing.
I have a question. If you get shooted into space in a capsule, how the hell is he surviving 10 years without
So
like eating, drinking?
Yeah, I don't know. He goes
How's that work?
the capsule says something on the screen like you're going into hibernation. So I'm guessing
Yeah, I'm
it's
guessing it's like
feeding
a
you
very
somehow.
advanced capsule.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
And to be
Okay.
fair, as soon as they find you, they're like, this guy shouldn't be alive. Like this should not
Oh,
be.
okay.
Right.
So maybe something's about that. I
Okay.
don't know, but it's very much. This is what I should say. This game is funny. A lot of the dialogue in this
Yeah.
game is funny, and that's some of the bits I'm enjoying most. Like some of the little one-liners and quips are really good. And then what I appreciate about this game, I think I appreciate it. I didn't actually use the function, but that bit when you are 10 years ahead and then the game opens up, I guess, it says, do you want to change your mind? Like this, you've just been asleep for 10 years. If you didn't like what you picked at the beginning, you can change that now.
Oh, okay.
So it kind of lets you test it out.
But that's like 2 hours in though.
Yes, and that's why I don't think
That's a lot of time.
it's a good option, but it's like, well, I've picked this for the long run. Not if I was 10
Yeah.
hours in and I was like, actually, I'm not really liking this. Great. 2 hours in, it's like, well, I didn't really get to experience it enough. It's a nice option, and it literally says this is your last chance as well to change. So
Yeah.
it's almost like I agree. It's a bit daft because you're 2 hours in, but I guess if you did something that was like, oh no, actually, I really want to go for a sneaky option this time, instead,
Yeah.
then you can change it.
Or if you've made like a mistake on the character creation, but you're like, oh fuck it, I'll just keep playing, and then you get the opportunity to then
Yeah.
rectify it, maybe. But it's not really something that is desperately
Not at the
needed.
2 hour mark, no.
No.
I don't want to go into too much of the story stuff or spoiler stuff because obviously only 7 hours in. I don't know too much, but what I will say is I'm interested in the story. I'm interested in the whole betrayal
Yeah.
side of things. As you can imagine, the first thing I'm doing at the moment, my character is trying to find this person who betrayed us. This person, I don't want to say who it is out there. They're still about, so we are pursuing them. So I'm interested to see where that goes. Maybe they can explain themselves. Maybe it's not going to be as bad as it looked. Blah blah blah. And then, but yeah. So I'm interested in the story. I think the story will be good. That is the vibe I'm getting, and I can compare it directly to Avowed, where right now I couldn't really tell you what was happening in Avowed. I know it was months ago,
Yeah,
but I don't remember being there thinking, yeah, the story is really good. It was more, I'm enjoying the game.
yeah.
Gameplay. Yeah.
Whereas this, I'm enjoying the story. Am I enjoying the game? Yes, I am enjoying the game. It's
Oh, I had
interesting.
that pause then for a moment.
Yeah. A bit unsure.
Yeah, it's quite difficult. The game is difficult, more than I was expecting. I remember Avowed being difficult as well. And it got to the point where I was starting to get slightly annoyed at parts of this game. But I'm now
Are you?
going,
I was saying, what difficult are you playing it on? Are you playing it on like regular, or have
yeah,
you
normal.
got it on the easiest?
Normal.
Normal.
I was considering just going down to easy because I was thinking, do I just want to enjoy this game and be like this character who, like in my mind, put it down to easy and just pretend that I'm this character who's like unbeatable kind of thing.
Mm,
Because at the end of the day, this is a role playing game. I should be role playing the character I want to role play.
yeah.
But instead, I've started to approach the game differently and getting more out of
Mm,
it. But that has its pros and cons. So, as I said, I prioritize
yeah.
lockpicking, hacking, and engineering. So far, I don't think that was the best option.
You should have reset
Right.
then.
Should have reset. I just didn't know that.
Mm.
Why? That's a good question. So, going back to this game being open and having your own options and doing what you want to do and blah 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 blah. I think it is, but I also think it's not as optional and as choose your own path as it could be. And maybe it's just because of my playstyle. Maybe I'm seeing it the wrong way, but I feel like with my character in particular, it's a bit contradictory. So, as I said, I chose the background to be a professor, and in my mind, a professor in the Dictorate, the Earth Dictorate, which is like a lawful company, whatever, would be a bit more not guns blazing, trying to see alternative ways of resolving
Yeah,
things.
think outside the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So trying to resolve things through conversations or I guess doing things sneakily or just ways of not killing people all the time.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And that's how I was kind of intending to role play the game. I just don't feel like I'm getting the chances to do that. So I kind of thought maybe if I'm really good at hacking, I'll be able to like hack my way through things and go through doors maybe I wouldn't be able, and lock picking, get through places that I wouldn't normally be able to get to and solve things quicker or differently. Don't get me wrong, I am unlocking doors that I wouldn't have been able to if I didn't pick lockpicking, but not to a level where I'm like being able to resolve things in a non-lethal way.
Mm,
And I think that's where my frustration was coming from. So now I'm effectively, so the part I'm on right now is the best example is I can't do that right here. Where I am, I just have to kill people. So I've
yeah.
changed my way of thinking and I've just got my shotgun. I've got all the best armor I can find and just other weapons. And instead of sneaking up and hitting people with a bat or a knife or whatever, I'm shotgunning them in the head. And it
Okay.
takes, they don't always die one hit, but they take a lot more damage and then it takes a couple shots and they're gone. Then
Yeah.
then it alerts everyone, they all come swarming, I hide, shoot, blah, 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 and I get the job done rather than trying to do it in a sneakier way. So yeah, I don't think, even though I had this idea for my character, I'm kind of contradicting myself because I can't see another way through it.
Mm,
So I think my personal feeling is that the best way to play this game would be to focus on speech because I think you'd be able to resolve things. There's so many times when I'm having a conversation with characters and there's an option at the bottom which is locked because my speech isn't high enough. And I'm
Okay.
thinking, I bet you that would help. Like, I bet you that would change this
yeah.
outcome.
Yeah.
Um,
Can that have
and
like a negative impact then? If you choose the wrong choice in the dialogue, can you then start getting shot at, for example?
yes, potentially. So one example with this bit I'm on now, I had this kind of left letter which was meant to let me into this place if I gave it to someone. And I gave it to this person. They said, yeah, no, you're not coming in. And I was like, oh, fuck. That was my whole plan was to get in and be
Yeah.
let into this place. So now I've had to go through, find an entrance, not through the front door because I was like, I'm going to get fucked if I go through the front door. Found a way in, and now I'm just killing everyone. Whereas if they would have let me
Mm,
in and got me a certain distance, that would have massively gone, which my character would have done. You know, my character would have found a
Yeah.
way to go through. And with that character, there was an option at the bottom which was locked, and I was like,
Damn it.
if I
You
knew
did that.
this, I could do it.
Yeah.
So I'd say speech, and I would say weapons. I think playing this, and I would if I started a new game, I'd probably pick the character who's come out of prison or something, who's like desperate for revenge. My character maybe would be more revengeful for this person who's betrayed me, rather than my
Yeah.
professor who's probably thinking, oh, there might be a reason, blah 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 blah.
But they should make it so that you do have the options to go
Yes.
down those different routes. Because, like, for me, I don't particularly like using stealth, but like if it's a stealthy mission, I will try to use stealth first. But then if it goes wrong, I'll just go, okay, fuck it, all guns blazing
Yeah.
type shit. But if it's one of those games where if you don't do it stealthily, you like sort of fail the mission, I'm like, oh, that's annoying.
It's not
I
like
have
that.
to redo it
To be
again.
fair, it is.
It sounds like it's the opposite.
Yeah, it
sounds like
Go
You
on.
can't use your stealth anyway to sneak through. Sounds like you're benefiting more by going guns blazing to begin with instead of
Yeah.
trying to stealth your way through.
The stealth isn't good enough for it to work. Don't get me wrong, I can sneak around the side of a room, but normally there's so many enemies or robots in there that I'll eventually get spotted, and I end up having to shoot my way out of it, which is
Okay.
fine, but I would like it to be.
Is that
more
something you
possible
can
to-
improve with your skill tree?
You can improve
go
the
forward.
sneak. Yes, you can improve the
Yeah.
sneak,
Okay.
which I get, and that was like you get detected slower, stuff like that. So it would improve it.
Yeah.
But still, I don't. There's been certain circumstances where I think I don't know how I would get through that without being caught.
Yeah.
Which I guess you could say then your character's shooting their way out of it, whatever. But
I'd love to see Andy play Hitman just for the basis of him just saying that I don't like stealth games where you have to keep using stealth. Just
If it
watching like
fails, I just hate stealth when like if you get caught like in a spotlight weather and it comes up mission failed, you have to restart. I hate
And
that
again,
sort of stealth.
Hitman's not like that. In Hitman, they just start shooting you and you have to shoot your way out.
Yeah.
But with
Yeah,
those
But it
games,
makes it
I don't mind that.
Yeah.
in Hitman games where the game is meant to be, and it's more satisfying when it's done
The-
stealthily.
also
As soon as
the
I'm spotted, I'm like, fuck this. Let's turn it off.
But
go
also the
settle
counter
down.
argument is that they make it so difficult that if you get spotted 95% of the time, you can die depending on what
Yes.
difficulty you're playing. So the game punishes you quite severely for not being stealthily. But there are moments where I'm just like, yeah, fuck it, just shoot you.
The worst game example, or the best game example, would be Splinter Cell, because I remember playing that and there was like a stealth, like one of the very first Splinter Cells, and I was like playing it, and I was like, kept getting caught. I was like, or Metal Gear Solid as well, similar.
Yeah.
Certain games, it's like, yeah, if you got caught, you failed. And I was like, fuck this. At that point, I used to enjoy just running around shooting whatever I could. So
Yeah.
they weren't the best
And
games
his
at that stage.
psychopath favour coming out. I also think, which when you were saying earlier about, that you were contemplating taking it down to easy. I do think there are, not every game, but some games it's like easy's too easy, but normal has aspects that are just so frustrating that it then makes you want to lower it. And it's sometimes you kind of want like a difficulty in the midpoint between like easy and normal. Some games are absolutely fine, they get the balance, but I do tend to find a couple of like campaigns where I'm like, well, I can do 90% on normal without any problems, but this 10% on normal is causing me real headaches. Lower it to easy, get it done first time. So I do think that games sometimes have a problem in not being fully consistent in that difficulty section.
Yeah, I'd agree. And there probably will come a point where I'm just going to go to easy. But right now, I'm just telling myself, right, my character is now just this man who's just doing his mission. What I would also say is, again, about the whole options thing. There are options. So there's one point where you meet these two characters. One wants you to go in and resolve this thing through almost like trickery. So this is the Auntie's Choice mission. So Auntie's Choice want me to go to the Proctorus and convince them to come to Auntie's Choice. One of them wants me to like trick them or like give them no other choice, basically. And the other one was like, no, go all guns blazing, kill as many as you can until the rest give up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, well, my character wouldn't do that one, so I'm going to go and do the trickery one. And that mission was fine. And that actually worked. So I went in there, spoke to them, tried to convince them through speech. And he was like, no, like, my people should stay here. This was to the leader of this team. So I then sabotaged 3 of their things. So like their water, I sabotaged their generator, so they had no electricity, and it's something else. Oh, the megaphone. The megaphone started doing propaganda for Auntie's Choice.
Okay.
Then I went back
Yeah.
to him and he was like, "Yeah, you know what? This place is falling to bits. Let's just go." I was like, "Okay, that's cool." But then I was like, "Why am I doing this? Like, I'm meant to be the Earth Dictatorate, who's meant to be like the good, the lawful good, in my mind.
Yeah.
Why am I siding with Auntie's Choice? I mean, I know why I am because I'm trying to get info on the person who betrayed me. But I would surely kind of try and find some middle ground between these two kind of factions, if you want to call them that. I think a better way, and I'm not trying to tell the devs how to make their game, but a more interesting way to do this kind of game would be at the beginning to let you pick a faction. So instead of, you can still have your options of personality and stuff, but say, I'm going to be part of Auntie's Choice, and that is going to be me. I want to side with them and give me a storyline, which means you can have an overall main story like this betrayal thing, but most of my decisions are going to be for the benefit of Auntie's Choice. Or I can be on the Proctorate side and I'm going to be for them and I'm going to be against Auntie's Choice. Or the Earth Dictatorate, but make it so I'm trying to be the lawful good, whatever. Because at the moment, it feels like this Earth Dictatorate stuff's been kind of ignored. And it feels like most of my things I am very heavily helping Auntie's Choice rather than the Proctorates. That's the way it is at the moment. And I will say I'm only 7 hours in. That might change a lot.
Yeah, it change. Yeah.
But it just feels like I'm being forced to help them.
Yeah. It's a bit annoying, especially if you don't like in any game, if you're working for someone that you hate or you don't like that
Yeah.
faction, it does frustrate you and it grinds on you, and you're like, oh, I can't remember what game it is, but I feel like there's a game. It might have even been like Need for Speed, but where the story is you're like working for someone, and you're all the stuff you do throughout that whole game, you're building up your rep and their rep, and it gets to the end of the game and it's like cliffhanger or like massive twist. They stab you in the back. You're now against them, and you feel like you've built up their entire club to the top. And you don't want to do that with this game where you build Arnie's Choice up
Yeah.
to the highest level they can be, sort of thing. And then it's like, well, actually, I'm
Was
against them.
But that's exactly what could happen because they're a massive corporation, and we all know massive corporations will just get rid of you in a heartbeat. It's not a your numbers.
I quite like that though. In terms of that's a if that is something that they do, because you don't know where it's going to go.
Yes, but I don't mind that if that's the idea, if that is the plan. So if I picked Auntie's Choice and that I went for a storyline with Auntie's Choice, and then they binned me and I was getting revenge at them at the end, fine. But this way, where it's like I'm supposed to be the Earth Dictatorate, kind of, don't get me wrong, it doesn't say go out and explore the world. There are missions, but I feel like I should be more lawful. I just don't feel like I am. Do you know what I mean? If you're making me part of the Earth Dictatorate, I don't feel like it. But maybe that will change through time.
Do you feel that like the game should be giving you a bit more clarity on how you should be behaving, or is that the case that the game is kind of saying to you, like, this is what you need to do, but how you choose to do it and what you want to do and how you want to behave is on you?
I think my problem is that they put me in the Earth Dictatorate, and that is everyone's experience. My best example is Starfield, which in Starfield, if from memory, which again is a massive sci-fi RPG from Bethesda, which is the closest thing you can compare this to because it's a sci-fi RPG. In that one, you are your own person and you kind of make your own decisions. And there are these people you get introduced to and you kind of stick with them, but they're not a faction. They're just people. They're just like a group of people. They're your companions. And there are factions in the game, and you can choose how you interact with each of them. And Starfield's not the best game ever by any means, but it felt like what I was doing was my choice. This feels like I've been put into the Earth Dictatorate, and then also they're ignoring it straight away. I guess I know I've been asleep for 10 years or whatever, but it just feels like you forced me here, and now you're forced me to kind of side with Auntie's Choice for a bit. It's just, I don't know. It's like they're giving you options, but like also like taking them away at the same time.
Yeah, it should be like, is it? I can't remember if it was Star Wars that you was talking about before, Welchy, where you have like the different factions, but you can choose which faction you want to do missions for, and then you build up that faction. Was that Outlaws? I
Star
can't
Wars
remember.
Outlaws, you're correct, yes.
Yeah, so maybe something similar to that, where you can, like, if you don't want
Yes.
to do stuff for Auntie's Choice or whatever the other ones are, you focus on one. You have quest lines for each one, but you focus on the ones you want to do, and you build up that faction to the level you want it at.
That's a good point. Star Wars Outlaws currently does it better than this, which
Mm.
Star Wars Outlaws was a
Yeah.
decent game. So I'm not saying as a reputation though, it has a worse reputation than Outer Worlds does.
Yeah.
Again, I'm 7 hours in. This could change, but from what is meant to be like as in main story playthrough, 20 to 25 hours, I'm a good chunk in. So it's not
Yeah.
like I'm not enough in. I don't know. Again, this could change. I just feel like it's not as free to do what you want as they make you feel. Like a Fallout game, when you come out of
Right.
the bunker, yes, there's missions, but you can pick who you want to side with. You can mostly decide what you want to do. Maybe that's more side stuff I'm thinking of, but I don't know. I think I've got my point across. I just feel like my choices aren't as free as they make you
Yeah.
believe they will be. If this
Maybe
was
that's part of the game.
maybe it is.
Mind fuck
If this was
you.
a linear game, would I be different? I think I'd still be like, why am I with them? Do you know what I mean? I'm the Earth Victoria. Why am I so
Yeah.
on their side?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm missing something,
Yeah.
but literally, you land on this
It'll be
planet and you
interesting
go
to
to this
see.
town, and it's Auntie's town,
Yeah.
and it's
It'll
all
be
for
interesting to see
them.
where the story goes, though, because you might, like you say, you might get to a stage where you're halfway through, and then all of a sudden it becomes clear why you've been working basically with them or for them. And
Yeah,
then all of a sudden your whole opinion on it changes. It's like, okay, that now makes more sense. Like they've shown you more, they're giving you more.
yeah,
Maybe it turns out that you're an inside guy, whatever. I don't
yeah,
know.
maybe. But anyway, I've rambled on about that kind of stuff too long. What I will say is I'm enjoying it. After all of that, I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying the gameplay
Good.
of it. It's fun to play. The weapons are good. You can go from first person to third person in a click of a button, which is always good.
Oh, nice.
I currently prefer third person. Not really any real reason why. They look both great in both versions. I just think this suits me better in third. I should say I made my character called Mike Hunt, which I've got to be very careful how I say that on this podcast.
You do.
And
Do you know what's even funnier is that when you posted that in the
didn't
Discord,
notice,
I
yeah.
completely was so oblivious to that, and not just that, but the character that you created as well. It was
I
only
think
when
everyone was,
but
other
you
than
said
me.
like, why are people just
I
putting
jumped
thumbs
in.
up rather than laughing
Yeah.
emojis?
Yeah, I jumped in, looked at the way your character looked, his name. I was like, obviously laughing at it.
Yeah.
And I see the reactions to it. I was like, why is everyone thumbs up in this? Like, they actually looked at his character and his name. It's like,
I just didn't spot the name, and then the more I started looking at the character, I was like, oh fucking hell, Welchy. Yeah, I can now see what you've done there.
I've just got bored of making me every time. And I think I
yeah,
said that on a recent, like another podcast before. I can't remember what game
Yeah.
we played or I played. Maybe it was Atomfall, to be fair, actually. It might have been Atomfall where I was like, I'm sick of making me, so I just made some person.
Yeah.
In terms of visuals, this is an interesting one. What was the game? Oh, Ghost of Yote. I don't know if it was on an episode you was on, Stephen, or if it was on the review, which you may not have listened to because you haven't beat the game.
Yeah.
But I said, I think it was the review with me and you, Andy. I said the visuals are amazing, but not the best. And I said, when you can compare games like Last of Us and God of War, this doesn't reach that level.
I think what you said, because I said that I think the graphics are incredible, but what you said Sucker Punch do is they make the graphics look much better than what
Yes.
they actually are.
And
is kind of what I remember you saying when I was on.
I elaborated in the full review by saying it's the characters which I think let the game down slightly in Ghost of Yote.
Right. Yeah, no, I can see that.
In this game, I'm kind of the opposite. So I'm actually surprised how good the characters look in this game. Like, obviously, this is a Fallout level game, so when you talk to them, it kind of goes to that bit where they're right in front of you, and you've got the dialogue. But that bit there is so good that they look really, really, really good. And yeah, a little bit awkward, like it's a Fallout game.
Yeah.
I keep saying it's a Fallout game. You know what I'm trying to say. That kind of
yeah,
game. But the characters look great. like really, really good. Then this planet I'm on at the moment, actually, I think it's a moon. I look around, I'm like, there's something not that good about the look of it. I can't put my finger on it. It's all colorful, it's all vibrant, but it doesn't look like a PS5 title to me or an Xbox Series X title.
Is that, but it has that like sort of cartoony look though? Because that's what I say about like Borderlands. It has that very unique look to it
But
where it's almost like
Borderlands,
fake and cartoony. It's
Borderlands is
almost hard to see
purposeful
how
though.
good it looks. Yeah,
Borderlands have the cell shaded kind of cartoony. That is their art style. This is almost
yeah,
like
yeah.
they've gone for realism, but not far enough. I can't put my finger on it. I really can't. Like the bits when you're inside places, they use the lighting quite well. Like in that, imagine like a. It's not like an alien spaceship, but like corridors, like dimly lit corridors, stuff like that. That all looks great.
Mm.
Yeah.
But when you're in on the surface of the moon, there's just something off about it. It just doesn't look that good to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's the opposite of Yote, where Yote's scenery and everything was like, maybe that's why I'm comparing it as well, because Yote was my last game and it's genuinely scenery wise a 10.
Mm.
This is more like a 7.5 in terms of visuals. But then the characters here are like a 9 or a 10. Like they look really, really, really good. So I'm kind of torn on that. Back to gameplay was great. The audio is great. Like I quite like the soundtrack in the menu. I quite like the voice acting so far. It's been really good. Obviously, my character doesn't speak, but the people talking to me are really good. Um, and the writing is hilarious. Like some of the moments are so funny. You've got a robot companion you have at the beginning. Is really funny. Some of the stuff he comes out with. Um, and then obviously this is sci-fi, which suits me to my likes more. So,
Yeah.
and a funny thing, I looked at my avowed playtime yesterday. It's effectively the exact same right now. So
Really?
both of
Okay.
them on the Xbox time have 6 hours 45 minutes, give or take a couple minutes. So I was like, I'm at the same point that I stopped on avowed. So I could basically say, right, what one would I want to play?
Mm.
And I'm not. It's not even a recency bias thing. If I had to play one, it would be Outer Worlds 2 because it suits me more. I prefer
Yeah.
sci-fi.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
What game is better? I honestly don't know. I think they're very similar. I think I would lean towards Avowed on the gameplay side,
Yeah.
but then the story side is more interesting than Outer Worlds 2. And being a sci-fi person, that's going to attract me more. So I think you can't go wrong with either. But currently, I'm going to continue playing Outer Worlds 2. I'm interested in where it goes, and I'm hoping
Yeah.
I change my mind on all this stuff about being not having the real options. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going
Mm.
to do every side mission. I'm not going to do every little thing. But
Mm.
I'll do bits where as and when I can, and see what I think of it at the end. Another game I mentioned earlier, Starfield, which is the thing I can compare it most to, because that's another RPG sci-fi adventure. Starfield is better at the moment. Like it is just better for the reasons I said, but it's also that story was really good. I was stunned at how much I enjoyed the Starfield story.
Yeah.
Does this have the potential to match it? I think it does. I don't think it will, but it could. That's what I'm trying to say is that. And Starfield hasn't got the best reputation either. But for me, this could. It has the potential to match it. I just don't think it's going to because I feel like my points on the choices. I personally don't think that's going to change. I hope
Mm.
I'm wrong. Um, which leads me to my score so far. Early review. I'm torn between 7 and 7.5. I think for
It's
now I'm
respectful.
going to go with 7, which is a good on our scale. Um, I could see this getting to an 8, maybe. I don't see it getting much higher than that, unless this game at some point blows me away.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so far 7 out of 10.
That's a
Yeah,
really
that's not a bad start for 7 hours in. And like
mm.
you say, if the story goes in a direction that you really like, then
Mm.
I feel like that would be the main thing that boosts your score up.
Yeah, I can't see the gameplay unless like new weapons get introduced, blah blah blah, um, changing that much from here on out. Maybe the different worlds I go to, I'm hoping there's going to be more planets. Um, maybe I'll get to a point. I'm like, oh, actually no, I can see I'm getting used to the art style and the graphics are better now, so that got up the score a bit. The story's
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
better and better and better. So yeah, it could go higher, but right now I'm leaning towards a 7. But hoping to have a better experience by the end of it. Will I finish this game is the other question. Avowed, obviously, I was
Mm.
enjoying, and as you now have heard, didn't get anywhere near to doing. I have to make a decision pretty soon because Black Ops 7 is next week or 2 weeks away. No, next week, next
Yeah.
Friday, right?
Yes,
Next
next
Friday.
Friday. Yeah.
So I kind of got to make a decision there. Do I continue with this? Do I play a bit of Call of Duty while playing this? I don't know. I'll definitely play it this week, obviously. See where I'm at that point. So maybe this time next week on the podcast, I'll tell you I'm dropping it
Mhm.
for COD, or no, I'm going to persevere and get it done.
That's a really interesting early review watching because it's like it's good, but the way that you could talk about it, you're like, how did we end up with a 7? Do you know what I mean? Like in terms of some of the aspects of it, but it is one of those weird ones where, and I've had it in some campaigns before, where it's like I'm liking it, but I don't know whether I'm gonna stay to it. Like there's some games that
Yeah,
you play within like an hour, you're like, oh, I can't wait to play this, finish this.
yeah,
But then there's other ones where you're like, not sure, and it sounds like maybe you're in that sort of situation where there's a cloud over it, but every time you think about that, there's enough to then keep you going.
yeah. That's another good point. Is that games like Ghost of Yotei, Split Fiction, Expedition, loads of games this year. I come home from work, I get up, or even on the weekend, I'm like, I cannot wait to play that later.
Yeah,
And what was the game? Oh, Lost Records was the one example where I was like, I cannot believe I'm playing that later. Like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm
yeah.
nowhere near that
You have to
level.
like
Like, I'm not.
you have to
I'm not at
like
that
talk
level.
yourself into
Yeah,
actually playing it because you're like, fuck, I don't want to play this.
Lost Records felt like I was torturing myself. This is more.
That's how I felt about Funko Fusion.
I'm gonna play a game tonight. Oh yeah, I need to play what I was too. It's more like I'm going to play it. It's not.
Yeah,
I won't be at work tomorrow thinking when I log off, blah blah, get the kids to bed, whatever. I can play. I'm really excited to play Outer 2. It's like I need to keep playing.
yeah,
It's
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
which is that's why I'm around that level 7 mark. Is because if this was a 9, I'd be like, I can't wait to carry on. I'm really hoping that would change because
yeah.
I can't remember Starfield wasn't reviewed on the podcast. I would have just done it on my Instagram or something. I can't remember what score I gave it. Um, but even with that, I think it's these games in general for me. I'm never a massive, massive fan of them. I've never have been.
No,
Fallout games I've enjoyed, never beat them. Starfield was the first one I can think of that I ever beat in terms of main
yeah,
story. Um, Avowed obviously haven't beat. Outer Worlds 1 I never beat. I always play them, enjoy them for what they are, and give up. So
yeah,
it might just be that these games don't suit me.
yeah.
But I'm
It
gonna try.
doesn't sound like from what you've described in the podcast that it'd be one for me. It doesn't sound like it's
Yeah.
my sort of cup of tea. But equally, there might be bits where if you go, oh, the next sort of 7 hours is absolutely incredible, it might change my mind. But I level because I think if I was playing it, I'd feel the same of like, I'm not sure if I could really keep going. There's got to be something that engrosses you and keeps you moving. It feels like maybe that's kind of missing, but it might hit you at
Which,
some point.
going back to Atomfall, I for that game they're going to do an awards season soon, so I won't go into it. But that game, I every night I'd be like, you know what? I can't wait to play Atomfall. I can't wait to get
Yeah,
further into that story because it was so
yeah,
mysterious, and it was
yeah,
figure out yourself, go and do what you want,
yeah.
do this how you want to do it.
Which I said in my review that I don't tend to enjoy games like
No,
that, but Atomfall is for one example that I literally felt the same. I was like, I cannot wait
mm,
to get back round. And then once I started doing it, you could stop because it was just so addictive. And that was the way that they executed that.
yeah,
I know this isn't Atomfall, but that is an example of that kind of genre of game appearing to like both of you who are quite more story driven.
yes,
So that's kind of what we want from those kind of tales. And it sounds like that was too hasn't got what Atomfall did,
no,
but it could be that there's a moment where you
yes,
go, oh, okay, I'm
yeah,
in. I'm so in.
yeah. I'm praying that happens.
Yeah.
I just don't know. But yeah, I don't want to keep going on too much about it. Obviously, I will update my thoughts each week as I continue to play it. If I continue to play it further than next week, um, But yeah, thank you both for your questions and listening to my ramblings. But before we end the podcast, where can people follow you, Andy?
So you can find me over on Twitch at Andy_Wyatt_07, or over on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at AB Collectibles or AB Collectibles24. Thank you very much.
And where can they follow you, Stephen?
Yeah, just on my TikTok at DJ Bagpuss and on my YouTube channel of the same name. Thank you very much.
Thank you all for listening to the Late Night Gamer podcast. We really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a follow, leave a rating, and tell a friend about us. You can follow us on all social medias with the handle at the Late Night Pods. I've done this so many times. I still have not changed these notes since my Donkey Kong Bonanza review.
That was a long time ago.
Brilliant.
in
July.
the next episode on Friday, we're doing our Metacritic predictions results episode, which we obviously predicted in January. We're now going through our results. In terms of next week, we are talking about our most anticipated games for 2026.
Oh man, I'm excited for that episode.
That's going to be a fun episode. So look out for that. But until then, I have been your host, Welchy, and my guests have been Andy.
Yeah, thank you as always, guys. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, just find out if I buy out Worlds 2 at any point.
And Stephen.
You won't. Yeah, no, it's been a pleasure as always. And yeah, looking forward to especially talk about the most anticipated games of 2026. I have a feeling there might be a couple that we all are in agreement of.
There's a couple of obvious ones.
Maybe a couple.
Until then, thank you all for listening and keep on gaming.